Good morning. I just cracked out of bed and it looks like you just clicked that start button. So, I literally just cracked out of bed and I watched about 15 minutes of this video that someone made a response to my video that I made yesterday titled, Let's Talk About Porn. I watched the majority of half of it, but in this video I will be responding to it. The guy did not show his face, it was just audio, and the photos that he was showing were a bit inappropriate. I'm not going to show those photos on my channel. In fact, his video is age restricted because of some of the photos he was using in his video. Nonetheless, I'm going to be responding to it, but I'm going to be sitting here for the next 30-some minutes as I play the audio that he is recording, and I will be responding to it with no editing. I'm not going to be editing myself. I just want to make this straight and to the point. I got to go to work in less than an hour and a half, so hopefully I can do this whole video by that time. So let's begin. I'm going to be playing the audio. And here we go.
Greetings. My name is Mr. Goody Kinky. This is a video response for Mr. Rep Zion's video, Let's Talk About Porn. The subject of porn is one that I know exceptionally well, considering when I was in my 20s I worked in 2 adult bookstores. The second one I was the manager. The first adult bookstore had dancers, movie booths, as well as the retail end of the store. The second one didn't have the dancers, but it had everything else. Now, the biggest reason why I'm making this video is the media hype that there's been on the subject of porn lately, because of people like Rick Santorum and the religious right that are trying desperately to get porn banned. And people like this guy that want to make it out to be some nasty, horrible thing. It's not. It's simply a choice that you have that if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here. That's what I said in my video. That's what I said in my video. The fact that you're repeating what I was claiming in my video is kind of funny, to be honest, but that's what I was saying. I don't watch porn because it's my personal choice. That's it. But apparently you're upset at my personal choice, but let's continue.
That's the simple solution. But people like this guy, that's not enough for them.
No, it's not enough. People like this guy over here, who's made several videos saying why porn should not be illegal. People like this guy. Yeah. I'm definitely the enemy here, but let's continue.
Here is the beginning part from him.
I claim I am against pornography, and normally when I say this, people always want to know my reasons for why I am against pornography. I want to make it very clear that I'm not telling you what you can and can't or shouldn't be able to do. I am telling you my personal reason why I am against pornography. M-E. Me. This is my personal reason. I don't expect anyone to follow it or agree with me on this issue, but I'm just going to voice my opinion on why I am against pornography. Number one, in my earlier teen years, ages 14 and 15, I used to be addicted to pornography.
The first thing I caught with this, other than his, this is my opinion, it's a me shit.
That's what I said, it's me. I don't know why you're calling it shit, because I'm presenting it from my standpoint and what something I personally believe, I don't know how you can call that shit. Because number one, I respect a lot of people, specifically atheists' belief in issues on pornography. In fact, I respect more people on YouTube who don't even deserve respect. And the fact that you can sit here and just say when I'm respecting other people's view and opinion on porn, the fact that you can call what I think shit is rather insulting, to be honest. You have no idea. You haven't watched any of my videos, have you? That's your first flaw, Mr. Kinky Pabinky, is you haven't watched any of my videos. You watch this video and you instantly start making accusations and insults to me and about my personal beliefs that I think, and even though I don't agree with other people, I still respect them for it. You know, it's sad when I can respect people who don't even deserve respect, and then when they make a response to me, they can't even respect what I believe on an issue. Because if you've watched any of my videos, I have never once forced anything on anyone. I have made it very clear in my videos that I'm simply sharing what I believe and things I believe on certain issues. Never Never. I challenge anyone to go out of my 335 videos and find a video where I try to force someone to believe something that I believe. You won't find it. Continue.
He was addicted to porn between the ages of 14 and 15. He gives a starting date and an ending date, which is 1 year. That's not much of an addiction, Rep Zion. I mean, seriously. That's not much of anything to really get down to it. But the main question I would have is, where did you get it? Clearly you weren't able to go out and obtain this porn legally, considering you weren't old enough to even have a job, let alone to actually be able to go into a store and actually buy it. So you would have had to have been looking at your dad's stash, is what it comes down to. Which brings into question, where were your parents? So this isn't about the porn. This is about a lack of parental guidance. But, next part.
No. Oh gosh. I'm sorry, but this is just funny. The fact that you think you know exactly what happened, let me go into detail. When I was 14 and 15, my parents actually installed a program on the computer called NetNanny. NetNanny was a program that also blocked pornography, but also limited me on how much internet usage I could use a day. Back when I was young, I was addicted to the internet. I was always playing video games, I was always on the internet, I was addicted to the internet. So my parents installed this program called NetNanny, which blocked porn, but also limited my time on the internet to 2 hours a day. So the longest I could be on the internet is 2 hours. Well, me being my little self at 14, 15, I was a smart little bugger, and I thought, I'm going to get past it. So I installed through a USB port a anti-invisible keylogger, which contracted when they enter their password to start the program. It logged everything they typed. So I found out their password, I found out their credit card information. I never used their credit card information, but I found out what I needed to use, the password for NetNanny. So when they were gone, I would pull up on the computer, pull up NetNanny, and I would type in the password and get past NetNanny, so I wasn't limited to 2 hours a day, and there was no filter on the internet. Now, back at this time, I didn't know that their NetNanny blocked pornography. I didn't know that. But now I do, and you're associating my parents saying that it's my parents' responsibility that I got into pornography. You're an idiot. No. It was my fault, my responsibility, because I was the person who got past their system and their rules on the internet. So that's your biggest mistake. It's not my parents' fault. My parents are against pornography, and believe me, they're conservative. You think I want to ban pornography? I don't. You want somebody who has a lot more stricter views on pornography? Talk to my parents. Ugh.
Something that came out of this addiction when I was 14 and 15 is that I started to look at women as sexual objects, not as valuable, human, respectable people. Now, I'm not saying this goes for everybody, that everybody looks at pornography, therefore is making a woman out to be an object. But if you were addicted, keyword being addicted to it, you start to look at women, for me anyway, started to look at them as a sexual object. And this, to me, I believe is wrong. And this is something that I believe porn can do, is if you get addicted to it, men will look at women as simple objects for their own personal pleasure and start to disregard, disrespect, and treat women poorly because of the pornography they're entertaining constantly every single day.
Right off the bat, you're showing you do not understand how a child's view of reality and what they value and the ideas that they have, how those things are formed. You're trying to associate it to porn when it's not the porn. This shit would have been brewing in you for years. It would have come from how you were viewing males treating women growing up.
I disagree with this, but I do agree with it. I believe that children can objectify women and treat women and devalue women based upon how they grew up. But I want to tell you something, that the fact that you see, now you're insinuating that I live in a family, a Christian family, where my dad devalues and disrespects my mother. And this is not the case. My parents have been married for over 35 years, have a great relationship, and the fact that you're trying to attribute my dad or my mother for treating each other poorly and disrespecting one another and devaluing one another and saying that my parents are terrible role models is incorrect. That's just not true. I started viewing pornography, and it's something that just came upon me. Maybe it was because I was raised religiously, maybe because I was in a Christian family, and even at that age, I didn't even know what porn really was at that time. I just saw it as naked people, and I felt attracted to it, but over time I started to feel like it was wrong for me to sit here and please myself way more than usual or the normal FAP session, and it just, I started to feel like I was objectifying somebody and making them out to be somebody, instead of a person I'm watching, is just this sexual creature which is designed for my personal selfishness and pleasure. Now, I'm not saying masturbation's wrong, it's a perfectly healthy and natural thing, but anyway, I think you get my point. Let's move on.
It has nothing to do with porn. Because you want to try and attribute this to just males devaluing women. You don't look at it, and none of you idiots say about how women devalue men by looking at porn.
They can. I didn't tackle that subject in my video, but women can devalue and objectify and make men out to be objects. In fact, my previous relationship with my ex-girlfriend was just like that. I've talked about an abusive relationship in my past ex-girlfriend. If you've watched any of my videos on my topic of when I've talked about my ex-girlfriend, I was a sexual object to her. That's one of the reasons why I don't even think the relationship worked, is because I always felt like I was some object as she was looking at my body, not my personality, not who I was as an individual who wanted to treat her with love and respect. Instead, she treated me like a pile of crap. She devalued me. She treated me like garbage. Not just emotionally, but verbally. The things that she would say about me. Physically, sexually. Women can devalue men. I know I didn't state that in my video, but I don't disagree with that. Men can devalue women, and women can devalue men. In fact, women devaluing men is a lot more common than a lot of people think.
That doesn't come up. None of you idiots try and go there. What is this all about? Oh, the women are oppressed.
I just went there, so you can shut up now.
Not word one about the males?
You just heard me.
It's degrading to women, but it's not to the male?
It's both.
What do you idiots say? Oh, it's so degrading to the male. You're only interested, you're only babbling the religious bullshit. How it's degrading to women. No, it's not. In fact, I, having viewed more porn than you could imagine, have a great deal of respect and admiration for the female body. I see it as a work of fucking art. I don't see it as something to be devalued. I see it as something to value greatly.
I value the female body. Hell, breasts, thighs, curves, I like those things. Just seeing a girl naked or a woman naked does not mean I'm devaluing her. I do appreciate the female body. Where in my video did I say I don't?
I value it more, not less. The idea of devaluing something because you're seeing it naked, do you devalue dogs because you see them naked? Do you devalue horses because you see them naked? Do you devalue elephants or any other animal in fucking nature because you see it naked?
Oh gosh, you are an extremist, dude. You seriously think I'm devaluing a dog if oh my gosh, I don't even know how to respond to this. This is beyond stupidity in what you're accusing me of here. Did I say that if I see a woman naked, I am devaluing her? No, when I objectify her and make her into a sexual object for me, and I see her only as this fat material, I believe that I am devaluing her worth as a human being. That's my opinion. That's what I think. This is what I think. Me. Maybe other people do that, I don't know. But for me, that's what I was doing. Seeing someone naked does not mean I devalue someone. The fact that you even bring that up makes you are an absolute idiot. I mean, you are.
This is religious bullshit. It has nothing to do with porn. If you see two horses fucking, do you get all excited?
Yeah! Woo!
Do you think, oh, that's horse porn? Give me a fucking break. It's not the porn. It's the role models you have growing up.
It can be the role models growing up, but it was not my role models growing up. You cannot sit there and tell me who my role models were, what they did, and what they didn't do. You don't know me. You can't say that. You're making a generalization and judgment on my parents who you don't even know. And I'm actually quite insulted by that because I respect my parents a lot more than most people do. And I disagree with them on a lot of different issues, especially evolution and the creation of the world and the age of the earth and the Bible. But I respect them. I know them. You don't, and you have no place to claim that my parents have been a bad role model for me. If anything, they've been exact the opposite of that, and I've been the bad role model by being rebellious against them. So shut up.
Next.
That was a bit defensive, I admit.
And I also believe that pornography, to an extent, creates an expectation of what a marriage or a relationship should be based upon that guy being addicted to pornography and then expecting his girlfriend or wife to perform those specific acts in the relationship.
This unreal expectation bullshit really is asinine. Because what it is showing is, right off the bat, you have no ability to separate fantasy from reality. It also shows that you have no sexual vocabulary. That you are absolutely incapable of actually talking to your partner. Yeah, imagine that fucking concept. Being able to talk about sex and find out what your partner likes and doesn't like. Not all women are into all things. Some women are into anal sex, some are not. You have to talk to your partner. Imagine that fucking concept. Talking to a woman.
I can talk to women, thank you, but unfortunately I happen to be a virgin and proud of it, and I don't really need to be talking about sexual acts with women if I haven't had sex with anybody or I'm not planning on having sex. Believe it or not, simply because I don't use the vocabulary you want within the term of human sexuality does not mean that I don't know anything. I made my video very basic, very straight to the point, and I don't need to use a ton of large sexual vocabulary like anal or anal sex, oral sex. I just don't need to use those terms in my video. I just don't see a point in it because that's not what I was talking about in my video. But continue.
Finding out what she likes. You don't think of that.
Actually, I do. In fact, in my previous relationship, the sexual activity that did occur, even though I never lost my virginity with her, I knew what she liked because I would ask her. I knew her little things that she wanted me to do because I asked her. You can't make these judgment calls about me when you don't know me. You don't know my past. You don't know the people I've interacted with. Anyway, it's, man, you're disgusting. People like this annoy me so much.
Because you're not interested in what she would want. You only...
Here, I'm going to stop it there. Actually, I am. I actually get turned on more if I can... Let's just say I was going to have sex with someone. I get pleasure out of pleasing somebody else. I am what is known as a people pleaser. If I'm going to have sex with a woman, I want to know right down to the detail what she wants me to do. Does she want my tongue? Does she want my fingers inside her? Does she want my... What does she want? I will do it. I'm more concerned about pleasing my partner than I am with myself. And by pleasing my partner, I get pleasure and satisfaction out of that. I know this because I've been there before. Anyway.
Only want to get your rocks off. That is self-centered bullshit. There's also the fact you could learn a thing or two from watching a porno. Before I lost my virginity, I fucking studied porn. Because frankly, from listening to how women talk, a lot of you fucking guys can't even find a clit.
I could comment on this, but I'm not going to get into that because I could get in big trouble and taken to court yet again.
You would need to have it fucking pointed out to you, even though you watch all kinds of fucking porn. How the fuck do you watch all kinds of porn and yet be unable to identify where the clit is? Or what the fuck to do with it? It
Actually,
really boggles my mind because...
You want to know how you deal with the clit specifically on a woman? Usually, you stick your fingers inside a woman, and then you either put your tongue on the clit and go, or you rub it with your other hand, or you do the exact opposite where you are giving the person tongue, you know, going deep inside the person with your tongue, and then you rub the outside of the clit with your finger. That's normally what you do. But anyway.
The instructions are right there in front of you. Watch the guy. But you're not interested in that. You're not thinking of that. You're only thinking of yourself. And that gets into the heart of the problem. It's not the porn, it's you. It's not the expectations the porn is giving, because frankly, it's not giving you any. You're the one that is making the expectations in your own little fucking head. The porn movie is not saying that you're to expect a goddamn thing. You are the one that is doing the I expect this or I expect that horse shit.
I agree. I am the person having that expectation, but I'm gaining that expectation because I'm seeing acts that I want somebody else to perform on me, or I want to perform on them that they may not want me to perform on them. I'm getting an I'm watching something which I like, and then once I like that, I like it, what's being done to the guy or what's being done to the girl, I expect that, I want to do that in a relationship or a sexual relationship. You can gain an expectation from watching things, from how things are meant to be. Do you know how many girls have gained expectations on how men should act and how girls should dress and act from watching the television show Jersey Shore? That's a great example of young girls developing expectations on what life should be like. Having sex all the time, having babies all the time. TV shows create expectations. They create expectations of the perfect family back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s when television was black and white. The perfect ideal family, a guy and a woman. The woman does all the housework. The children are all, I'm running out of what I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm trying to say. Expectations can be created. They were created on television, and expectations can be drawn out from watching pornography.
And it's always, you expect her to be able to do what the porn star does. But it's never that you're going to be able to do what the male porn star does.
I disagree. Completely. In fact, I've had expectations of wanting to do something that a guy could do that I wish I could do. So that refutes you right there, buddy. But
it's always one-sided because people like you are always only about yourself.
It's not only about myself. As I said earlier, I care more about pleasing my partner, whether it's sexually or not, than myself. In fact, if you knew me at all, I don't care a crap about what I want out of a relationship. If anything, I want to please that other person. And maybe that's why my first relationship failed, because I was so concerned about pleasing that other person. I don't know.
One of the things that I learned, even before losing my virginity, I would listen to women talk, and I'd hear about guys that blow a nut and quit, and how they would bitch about that. And I swore to myself that I would never do that. And yes, the first time when I felt myself, to use the term come, there was the initial bodily thought, this reaction of dying. But in my own head, I was, oh, fuck no. I'm not done. I'm not going to quit. And I kept going, and it returned. The thing is, I became more interested. My focus wasn't on me. It was on her pleasure. Satisfying the woman I was with. Not about getting my own rocks off. Because I looked at it as if I satisfied her, I would also be satisfying me.
That's what I just said, by the way.
But her satisfaction was more important than mine. And that is something you are incapable of grasping. Because you are a self-centered little twit. Your only interest is you. And that's where I say, grow the fuck up, child.
My dick's probably bigger than yours, by the way.
You. When you're with a woman, it is about your partner.
It is.
It is not about you.
I agree.
That is the biggest lesson that a lot of you people, a lot of you male idiots, just can't fucking grasp. Stop thinking of your fucking self and think of your partner. Imagine that concept. Next point.
I believe very strictly in what is known as committed monogamous relationship. Again, keyword is committed monogamous relationship. Guy, girl, whatever. I believe in commitment. And for me personally, I don't see how being in a committed monogamous relationship, looking at pornography, looking at another woman naked or having sex with somebody else, point is in any way being committed to my spouse, girlfriend, or wife. In fact, I think it's a form of cheating. If I look at pornography, whether I'm in a marriage or not, or have a girlfriend or not, I believe I am, in a sense, cheating on my partner because I am envisioning women, watching women having sex while I should be envisioning my wife, girlfriend, instead of these other women. I'm replacing my girlfriend or wife with other people, and I believe that's a form of cheating. Just like the actual act of having sex with somebody outside of your relationship, I consider that a form of cheating.
The idea that a committed monogamous relationship means you can't even think about another woman, this, number one, is unhealthy. Because, frankly, when you dream, you will dream of other women. I can guarantee it.
First of all, you are I'm not going to call you stupid again, because I use that word too much in my videos. This is not what I was saying. Obviously, I'm going to think of other women. I'm going to walk down the street and be attracted to another woman. If the fact that you think that I'm actually saying that if I think about another woman, I'm therefore cheating, no. Okay, I'm going to be attracted to plenty of other people. I'm going to think about plenty of other people, other women. But I'm talking about a relationship, a committed monogamous relationship, which has rules. Every relationship has rules. Can you have a committed monogamous relationship and be perfectly available to look at pornography? Yes, if both partners agree that looking at pornography is perfectly fine in a committed monogamous relationship, by all means, yes, it's perfectly fine. But I'm talking about a committed monogamous relationship where either my partner or I have rules set aside that looking and watching people perform other sexual acts on the computer or whatever, and if especially we're not honest about it and lying about it, that's going to create problems within that relationship. Every relationship is different. Every relationship has different rules. Some rules, looking at porn is fine. Some rules, you can go out and have sex with other people. That's an open relationship. I'm talking exclusively in that video, my video, about a committed monogamous relationship where two partners both have rules that they don't want each other looking at pornography. Clarified.
And if you get all wrapped up or think in your head that if you have a dream about another woman, it's the same as if you actually go out and do it, then you're more inclined to go out and actually fucking do it. Because you're thinking in your own warped head that if you're even dreaming about it or thinking about it, you might as well do it. You're not separating fantasy from reality. You're wanting to try and blend the two into fucking one. Which means you're setting yourself up for failure. Not to mention, if you try and impose this on a partner, you're trying to control what they're thinking. To say you can't even think about somebody else. This is the type of bullshit I saw when I was in high school. These guys that would be getting all pissed off if you just look at their girlfriend. The fuck, you want to gouge my fucking eyes out? I can't look at another human being? If you're in a relationship with them, are you that fucking insecure?
I'm not insecure. In fact, when people would look at my girlfriend and say, "Whoa, she's hot," I'd feel complimented. I was like, yeah, I do have a very, back then I did have a very attractive girlfriend.
Give me a goddamn break. I am in a committed monogamous relationship with my girlfriend and have been for years. I don't cheat on her and would never cheat on her. However, I have tons of porn on my computer. I have 2 terabyte hard drives. The thing is, I also have over 150,000 pictures of naked women.
I hope that when you say naked women, you don't mean young girls who are under the age of 15. But who knows?
As well as tons of pictures of women with cleavage and so forth. They're pictures. She has pictures of guys. I don't give a fuck. I'm not threatened by a 2-dimensional image. I am quite secure with my relationship with my girlfriend that I don't care if she likes Hugh Jackman. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter to me. She's never going to meet the man. There's nothing for me to be fucking insecure about. There's no reason for me to give a damn.
And that's great. As I just said, you have a very open relationship. You guys have rules that whatever you guys do is fine. But not all relationships are like that. Especially when you have rules set that I'm going to be honest about looking at pornography and the person lies about it and looking at pornography. Like the example I gave in my video with the atheist couple that I knew, that their marriage started to fall apart because the guy was looking at pornography. And when the woman found out, she was shocked at it. Mainly because he was actually lying about it. But anyway, the point is, I just lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going with that.
The idea that you can't look at someone else and think, damn, she's attractive.
I never said that in my video. That if you think that I'm saying that, you're too far gone, and I suggest you take the cum, C-U-M, out of your ears.
That you want to make all these fucking bullshit issues about it. You're setting yourself up.
I'm not making issues about it. Just giving my opinion.
You're setting yourself up for, if you think about sleeping with another woman, that you would be more inclined to be, well, I thought about it, so I might as well fucking do it. You're an idiot. There is a difference between what you think about and what you actually do.
Duh.
I've had tons of thoughts in my life of wanting to, especially on the fucking YouTube, wanting to reach through the fucking computer and shake the living shit out of some idiot that I'm talking to.
Like me?
Or some Christian yahoo that I'm dealing with. To just grab them and shake the living hell out of them or beat the shit out of them. The thing is, just because I'm thinking it in my head doesn't mean I'm going to actually go out and fucking do it.
No, I don't. I agree.
There's a difference. If you can't separate what you're thinking from what you're actually doing, you are a danger to society. You are a danger not only to yourself, but to everyone else. That is why I see what you are saying as being major red flags for your mental state. Next point.
Now, I'm not talking about open relationships. This doesn't apply to open relationships. This, for me, applies only to committed monogamous relationships, which is what I support. And I want to be committed to my wife or girlfriend. I want commitment in a relationship from my wife. I have seen non-Christian marriages, committed people, both atheists, who loved each other, but when the wife found out that her husband had been hiding his porn addiction, their marriage fell apart. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen for every marriage, because marriages and relationships are different. But I believe in many cases, if you are in a committed monogamous relationship, pornography is wrong. It's a form of cheating, And that's one of the main reasons I'm against pornography.
The fact that you mention an open relationship at all really makes me question your motive for that, because open relationship is completely on the other end of the spectrum and would have nothing to do with any of the mental fucking gymnastics that you're trying to fucking do, or the not being able to separate fucking fantasy from reality. It would absolutely have nothing to do with it, because an open relationship is, by its very nature of the words, open.
Okay, I'm stopping here. I haven't actually gotten this far in the video yet, so my responses are now actually going to be just off the top of my head to this individual. So just letting you guys know that.
That both people are open to having sex with whomever they want, whenever they want. Makes me question why the fuck be in a relationship at all. But that's neither here nor there. It's not something that I have ever engaged in myself. However, there is a middle ground in there. There are things like swingers that you may be totally unaware of. Those are people that they can be, and most times are, in a committed monogamous relationship for the most part. But there are just occasional times they'll get together with either a couple or another woman or another male to have a night out or to have sexual relationships with, a sexual encounter with, and then they go back to their regular lives. It has nothing to do with an open relationship. Swingers can be in an open relationship, but they don't have to be. When I worked at the first porn store, the manager and his wife, who was a dancer, they wanted to be able to do a swinger type of lifestyle, but the problem they had was both of them were too jealous of the other. Jealousy doesn't work with the swinger lifestyle. Jealousy is a killer all around in many ways. It's something that I simply don't have, because jealousy comes down to insecurity. If you're insecure about the relationship for whatever reason,
I agree with that.
Jealousy will most likely emerge. And that is where the mind bullshit that you're trying to do of you can't even have fantasies. You're setting yourself up for trouble.
Where in my video did I say the word
You're
fantasy?
setting yourself up for a relationship disaster.
Or say think about somebody else? I didn't.
Fantasies are normal.
They
They're
are.
part of life.
They are.
It's not something that is a sin or any bullshit like that. Then again, I'm an atheist. I don't buy the bullshit of some God thing looking over and shaking its fucking finger at anything I'm doing. But what you had said about, of non-religious couples that the wife found out the husband was hiding a porn collection and that it broke up the marriage. Well, the problem wasn't the porn. The problem is they're hiding it. If they were open and communicated that they had this collection and had it a known thing from the word go, then the woman would either have made the choice to be in that relationship or not be.
And if she decided not to be in that relationship, you would think that woman is an absolute fool. You would criticize her for that because you think that... No, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Never mind. I'll continue. I'm not going to go there. Not going to make accusations like that.
If there were insecurity issues, they would have been found out from the start.
Okay, now I'm going to stop. I want to make it clear that everybody has, to an extent, insecurities. Because someone has an insecurity about something, that does not mean you have to put them down for it. I'm serious. There are going to be people that you meet, women, who are insecure about a guy looking at pornography. Those type of girls exist. There are going to be girls who are not insecure about that. But if I truly love someone, and I truly care for my significant partner, I will be willing to give up things in my life which make her feel insecure. That's what I view a relationship as. Maybe I do something that makes my girlfriend feel insecure. If she communicates that to me, and I'll stop it. In fact, I did that in my previous relationship. There was a time where my ex-girlfriend said that she thought I was addicted to video games and she was insecure that I was giving video games more time than her. And you know what I did? I said to her, "Sweetie, I'm going to give up video games for an entire month just to show you that I'm not addicted to video games and that I care more about you than video games." And I did it. And I fixed that insecurity. I sacrificed a whole month, which may not seem like a whole lot, but for me it was, of no gaming. Relationships require sacrifice. That even means sacrificing things that you may like or enjoy, such as pornography, if your significant partner is insecure by it. That's how I view relationships. And if you can't deal with someone who has insecurities, then don't go in that relationship. But personally, I like to be in those type of relationships where I have to sacrifice things for other people. Because for me, that really shows you that I care and love for that I love that person.
And it's something that could have been dealt with from the beginning. The issue is not the porn. It is the fact of something was hidden. Because
you can't say that
your partner was hiding something from you. It's a violation of trust. It wouldn't matter what it is. If they're hiding one thing, it raises the question in the mind of what else are they hiding? The one leads to the other. It doesn't matter what it is. There is another aspect that comes in online that you didn't even mention at all, but I'm assuming that you would be against it because it deals with the mind, and that is what is termed cybersex, or sex online. There are things that, this has been a part of the internet since the internet has been. Now, to try and say, well, that's cheating, is it really? Because what you have is two people that are communicating via text and describing, to use the term, a sexual encounter. How is this different from reading an erotic story, like a literary erotica? Oh, guaranteed you wouldn't go to a website like that because those are stories that are dealing with erotic issues. You wouldn't even want to think about that sort of thing.
I think about sex and erotic things a lot more than you realize, buddy.
And that is where you're trying to cage your mind in such a tiny box. I see it as seriously unhealthy. I see this as potentially leading to a lot bigger sexual issues.
Now you're judging my sexuality in the future because I have certain standards for what I want in a relationship. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks for that. I love it when people do stuff like that.
Because you have so many hang-ups over fantasy.
No, I do not.
Fantasy is
I don't have hang-ups over fantasy. I don't. I know the difference between fantasy and reality. Every person has fantasies in their mind. Everyone. I don't care how of a Christian person they are, they've had them. I just tend not to participate in trying to fill my mind up with fantasies all the time. That's the difference. I'm very strong-willed, I have a strong willpower, and I believe that there are certain things that I shouldn't have to think about or shouldn't have to put in my mind all the time. That's what it boils down to for me.
A natural part of life. Dreams are another aspect. you can't control.
No, I couldn't control my first wet dream that I had when I was 13 or 12 or whatever. I can't control that. Those are natural. There's nothing wrong with having a wet dream. Bet you... I can't believe I just said that, but...
What dreams you have? I mean, if you have a dream about being with another woman, you would be getting all flipping out.
No, I wouldn't. I just said I wouldn't.
That you might as well go out and do it in real life. You had a dream about it. This raises serious problems because it is putting unreal expectations on yourself in the aspect of you can't think these certain things. What you think is not the problem, it's what you do. Because it's with the internet stuff, I do that. My girlfriend knows it. It's not an issue. Because there's no difference between that and an erotic story. I'm not physically going out and doing anything with anyone. I wouldn't. That is another aspect that somebody that is, if one person's sex drive is higher than another, in a sense, what do? The one has sexual desire more than their partner, so you have to compensate somehow. The idea that, oh, one just has to control it. Why? When there is what is called fantasy. They're not doing anything with anyone in a physical, real sense.
I agree, but I would like just to ask the question. I think that fantasies can in fact become reality, where someone will fantasize about something so much that they will actually go out and commit the act. Whether that's even hurting someone or violating someone or even raping someone, that does happen. Fantasies can turn into real life action. Do I say it all the time? Probably not. But it does happen. Just saying.
It is all either in their head, largely it's in their head no matter what, either through a movie or whatnot. It's not them going out and actually doing something. And in fact, it can prevent and keep that one from going out and doing something physically. Because they are satisfying that desire in a virtual sense, in a fantasy sense. To close this, I want to tell you if you want to, it's a story of a woman that I had encountered that was in a relationship with a guy, and she was interested in being a dancer. And because I had worked into a...
Okay, I'm just going to stop it right there because I'm just going to stop it right there. I think he's made his points clear enough. So this has essentially been my response to him. I have to say his assumptions about me and my parents, about me personally, have been rather skewed, and I'm just shocked at someone who, number one, has to get all gung-ho and upset of something that I'm not doing, which is engaging in watching pornography. Why is it such a big issue to this person that I am not engaging and looking at pornography? It's my personal decision, my personal choice, and it just shocks me that someone can get so mad at something that I'm not doing. It's like, because I'm not following the norm of looking at pornography, I'm therefore put down, judged, and criticized for it. And don't get me wrong, I love criticizing, but I have to say, the criticism he's put on me is not really accurate. He's not really addressing even the issues that I even portrayed. He goes to the extreme level of comparing me looking at dogs as degrading animals and stuff. And I hope you guys can get the point that this guy's kind of... He does say some things I agree with in this video, but for the most part, him relating to me and talking to me, I don't want to personally flame him or attack him, but he's not capable of listening. He has cum, C-U-M, in his ears, so plugged up that it just shocks me that he couldn't understand my basic message that I was saying in my video. So that was kind of just my response. I hope it made sense. Again, this had no editing in it. No edits whatsoever. I just woke up about an hour ago and just said, I'm going to make a response to this like I did. So, that said, thanks for watching. I'm Mr. Epstein, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. Hope this clarified some things on the issue. Peace, the rep out. And I want to say something else, but I don't know what I want to say. Anyway, thanks for watching.